All right, what is up, you guys? Today I have a video for you. It's something that I went through myself and something that a lot of my clients experience, and that is achieving a level of success in your finances, your career, your business. So becoming a successful individual, a successful man, but not having the physical fitness to go along with it, not having the look, not having the mentality, not having the physique that you want to go along with the success you've built. And now, for people that are in this position, one thing I've realized, and this is what happened to me, is that it's not because you're lazy. You're in a different position than a lot of people. You are not out of shape because you are lazy. You are not out of shape because you don't have the work ethic. You are out of shape because either your standards for yourself physically have fallen off in your pursuit of success, or you've allowed the physical fitness aspect of your life to take the backseat while you were building your empire, your success in all of these other areas, right? And it's very common for driven men, for driven guys that are building things to prioritize that over the health and fitness. But today we're going to go over exactly why we should not be doing that and how we can go about fixing that, building the physique, building the mentality, building the physical aspect of ourself that actually matches the success that we have, okay? So this is the blueprint for life. The discipline transfer method is what we're going to be going over. All right, so number one, the hidden tax on your performance. So this is something that most of you are going to experience if this is you, right? So you know the 2 p.m. energy crash, the decision qualities drop, everything just kind of falls off around the afternoon when you're just tired, you're groggy, you're foggy, and it's just not, you're not performing at your highest level anymore. The brain fog in critical moments, whether that's a meeting or a sales call or whatever it is that you're dealing with, and you just can't be on point 100%. You're operating at a less percentage. You're operating around 60%, and it's affecting the actual work, the output, the income, the result, the return. It's affecting everything. And not to mention the physical presence. You're lacking that physical presence when you walk into a room. Your body, your physique doesn't match the resume. It doesn't match the level of success that you've achieved, right? So it's embarrassing to go to these meetings. It's embarrassing to meet with these clients. You don't want to be seen in front of your team. These are all very common themes in men that experience this, okay? So one thing to remember is that your body isn't separate from your business, okay? It's the hardware of running it all. If we're on point physically, it is a lot easier to be on point in our business, okay? If you do not focus on the physical fitness aspect of your life, the financial success, for one, is either going to take a hit, or two, is never going to achieve or reach the full potential, okay? So 6 months from now, same schedule, same excuses, same body. The gap between who you are and who you could be gets wider, not smaller. So the longer that you wait, the more time that you take, the more that you buy into the belief system that you are not able to accomplish this because of your schedule, because of your work, because of everything else you have going on, the harder it gets and the further that gap gets. All right, so for me, this is what I experienced. So I, at one point, was in really, really good shape. I got in really good shape, but financially, I wasn't in the best spot, and I decided I was going to change that, and I was extremely hungry for that, right? So I looked successful on paper after this because I spent mass amounts of time and energy building financial success, building my career. And in that process, I lost myself physically. I fell out of shape. I was 230 pounds at one point, which wasn't terrible. At one point, I was 265 pounds, and I got in really good shape. But at this point, when I've fallen off, I got up to 230 pounds. I was soft. I was extremely successful, but I didn't have the look to go with it. And on top of that, I was just depleted. My energy sucked. I looked like shit. I felt like shit. I just didn't have the drive that I had from being in shape, and it was affecting my performance financially, I guess you could say. At some point, it started affecting it to the point where I felt like I couldn't climb anymore. So during this time, I was well into the 6-figure mark, making great money, decent money, I guess, at that point. 230 pounds and just grinding my ass off. Grinding, right? And I always had that thought in the back of my head of like, well, right now I'm focused on building my career. I'm focused on building my financial success. Once I get through this, then I'll focus on the physical fitness aspect. But I didn't realize how much that was affecting my ability to grow further, right? On top of that, like I said, I felt like shit, looked like shit, I had no energy, and it was just not a great place to live. So, one thing to remember for you guys is that if you can build success, if you can build a business, if you can build a high level of income and net worth and success in every other area, you have what it takes to be in shape. You already have it. You just haven't applied it to fitness yet. The same discipline that it takes to build a business, to build success, is the same discipline, the same structure, the same systems, the same standards that it takes to become fit. It's actually a fairly simple process, and it is completely doable even while you're working like crazy, even while you're focused on the success, even while you're focused on everything else, okay? So at that point, I really got it together, dialed in, made a phenomenal physical transformation in less than 6 months, less than 180 days, but lost 55 pounds and really just 4 or 5x my output. And that was the biggest wake-up call for me, was that I didn't realize how shitty I was feeling until I felt good. I didn't realize how high my potential was until I got in shape while doing it, right? I didn't realize how much further I could take my success by focusing on my physical fitness. Okay, so you systemize your business, but you're winging your health, right? You're guessing on your health. Everything about your business is structured, okay? Everything's written down, everything's documented. But the way that you treat your body, you're just hoping for the best. For one, you're probably neglecting it, but two, you're just, even when you do try to get in shape, you're just winging it. You're just guessing. You're just like, oh, I'm going to eat clean. I'm going to start going to the gym. Transferring over the disciplines you have from business is always going to be the best way to achieve what you want to achieve physically. So this is where the discipline transfer method comes in. Pillar 1, physical authority. This is where we're going to take the strength training and fit it to your lifestyle and your schedule, right? And this is the main thing. We can't be trying to follow a 22-year-old fitness influencers program that has you in the gym for 2 hours a fucking day. It's just not going to work. If you are building anything, if you are actually building things in real life and you have responsibilities, you need to structure your training around your real life, okay? So what that's going to look like for most guys is 3 to 4 sessions per week. We're in and out of there in under 60 minutes. We're not wasting sets. We're not wasting time. We're not lollygagging. We're in there, heavy compound movements, high intensity, progressive overload, week after week. We're in there, we're executing the plan, simple and effective, and getting the fuck out of there to go back to focusing on everything else we need to focus on. Strength in the muscle is built for presence and performance, not for the mirror alone. So that's one thing you need to understand is when you walk into a room and you are muscular, you are in shape, you are more in shape than everybody else in that room, you command a level of respect that you do not get if you are not that guy. You do not get that level of respect if you are out of shape. It's just not going to happen. I don't care how successful you are. I promise you, I've seen this a million times. And this is why it is extremely important to focus on this aspect, is because it gives you a lever. It gives you a one-up on a lot of people. You just automatically assume a level of respect by your presence that you don't get otherwise, okay? And the other thing is we're canceling out any fluff. We're just getting rid of anything that doesn't make sense, that doesn't align with these two things. We're getting rid of it. There's no fluff, okay? We don't need to waste time. We don't need to play around. Pillar 2, strategic nutrition. So we need to structure this in the same way, built around your actual lifestyle, built around what actually works for you, okay? So the structure, we have calorie and protein anchors. Now, obviously, a full macro-based breakdown is going to be the best. And for 70 to 80% of the time, that's what we should be following. But we need our calories and our protein. We need to structure this around whole foods. And we want to structure this in a way that optimizes our performance, obviously inside of the gym, but inside of the business as well, okay? But allows us the flexibility to have other things. So whether that's business dinners or travel or a date night with your wife or going out to lunch or ice cream with your kids, whatever that is, we need to structure this in a way that allows you to have both the results and the progress that we're actually looking for and the flexibility to still enjoy your life. Because the last thing that we need to do is structure this in a way that is so miserable and so unsustainable that you make the progress and then go back to square one after that. That is not the plan. That is not what we want to do. So high protein, okay? Calorie deficit, structure the macros properly around performance, eat mostly whole foods, 70 to 80% whole foods, and then 20 to 30% flexibility, okay? We're not trying to create a diet. We're trying to fuel performance and create a lifestyle. All right, so the biological optimization, this one is going to be huge, 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 huge. And so many guys miss this. So many guys. If you are building something substantial, if you're building a business, if you are working on building your career, working on success in general, it requires a level of sacrifice, stress, hard work that a lot of the time affects our hormones because we have the sleepless nights, we have the chronic stress, we have the high cortisol, we have all these things that put us in positions where our body stops optimizing the hormones and lipids. So one thing that I start all of my guys off on first is a full blood panel, hormones and lipids, okay? We have to see what's going on under the hood, what's going on in the engine to make sure that everything is optimized so that we're not missing something, right? If we do not have optimal hormones and lipids, if we have bad blood work, the physical results are going to be way harder and take way more time, okay? We gotta optimize these because not only does it affect our performance physically, having non-optimal hormones affects your performance in business as well. If you are low on things or if you're imbalanced and we correct that, you will feel like fucking Superman. You will perform at levels that you didn't even know that you had. It is actually insanity. So the blood work is huge. We got to know the numbers. Sleep protocol, this is going to be the hardest one for most guys because, as we all know, building businesses and fucking working a bunch is just, sleep is going to take a hit. But we need to try and prioritize it. Even if we aren't getting a lot, we need to make sure that we are getting quality, okay? And then recovery and supplements, we need to build out a supplementation plan that actually helps us with balancing everything, having optimal health, having optimal levels, and pushes us in the right direction for performance. All right, now pillar 4, the discipline systems, non-negotiables, standards, and accountability. So everything needs to be a non-negotiable. Not everything, but the few steps that we need to take in this system, in this structure, need to be non-negotiable. So whether you want to do it or not, we're doing it, right? Daily non-negotiables, fixed behaviors executed regardless of schedule, mood, or circumstances. We need to make sure that our standards and our physical fitness match our standards in the other areas of our life, right? If you have good standards in your family life or your business or your career, we just transfer those over into our fitness and we hold ourselves to that same standard. And then accountability, you need to find a level of accountability. either yourself by writing things down in a notebook, checking them off every day, making sure that you're doing them, having an accountability partner, or for most people, it's going to be hiring a coach. It's going to be having somebody that you actually invest in that tells you the plan and holds you accountable to that plan. When you have to answer to someone other than yourself and you invested in yourself to do so, you have a level of accountability that you would not have otherwise. Okay? So just kind of going over everything again. So 3 to 4 sessions per week, under 60 minutes, programmed precisely for you, the daily movement. So this is another task that we include. Usually what we'll do is we'll get your baseline level of steps first and then go into adjusting them to make sure that we're optimizing fat loss and energy. Okay, so daily movement, we don't need a ton of cardio. We need movement throughout the day. We don't want to have to take extra time away from family or the business to just sit on the treadmill for fucking 30 to 45 minutes and get a bunch of that in. Okay, so structured nutrition, flexible execution, and then weekly data-driven adjustments. This one is huge. We have to be tracking the data. We have to be tracking the trends and making sure that we are adjusting based off of those numbers, those trends, not off of emotions and feelings and thinking that something is wrong or thinking that something is right. This is a very data-driven process. All right, the principles are simple. Execution is where most men fail, obviously. Everybody has the knowledge. Everybody knows what to do, but executing it is a whole different piece of the puzzle. And it's the main piece of the puzzle. So, the reason why most successful men are failing at their fitness, like we already went over, for one, takes the back burner. 2, the standards. 3, unpredictable schedules. So, I think we could all agree that there's just days where we're like, dude, when the hell do I get this workout in? When the fuck, am I supposed to do any of this stuff? And that's why it's important to have the structure built around your actual lifestyle. You need your workouts built around your lifestyle. You need everything programmed specifically for you, okay? The other thing is the high chronic stress. We just went over this. This is why it's extremely important to have the blood work done. It's extremely important to be optimizing our health, right? And then the biggest problem aside from the execution and accountability is the structure. Not having structure is going to kill you. Just guessing and winging it and trying to make your way through it, you're never going to make the progress that you want to make. It's just not going to happen. Okay, so the reason that I say one of the best levels of accountability is a coach that you invest in is because, for one, that person knows exactly what they're doing. They know what needs to be done, right? 2, it takes that piece away from you to where you don't have to think about it anymore, right? And 3, the checking in, the answering, the having to tell this person exactly what is going on and what you did that week adds a layer of accountability that you aren't going to have otherwise. If you are relying solely on yourself to hold yourself accountable, you're every time, you're going to allow yourself to slack off a little bit. You're going to allow yourself, oh, you know what, I'm tired today. I don't need to do that. Oh, you know what, I don't feel like following the macros today. I don't feel like and you just kind of slip little by little to the point where you no longer are executing. It's a very, very slippery slope. And once you slip, it's hard to catch yourself. Okay. Your business standards are elite. Your standards for your success in life are elite. And your body should match your success. Your physique should match your success. There's no reason to be out of shape if you have achieved great things in other areas of your life. All right? So what we're shooting for here with this method and with our fitness overall is all-day energy. The mental clarity, sharper decisions, faster processing, the cognitive edge that you built the business to require, right? The physical presence. You walk into a room, it's clear you operate at a different level. You have the muscle, you have the bicep veins, you have things that people look at you and they could tell that you operate at a higher fucking level, right? And then the discipline that compounds. The more you focus on the physical discipline, the more it transfers over and compounds into the business. It's just how this shit works. All right, so the DTM, who this is built for, this is extremely important because this isn't fucking for everybody, obviously. It's built for high-performing men that are already operating at a high level professionally and ready to match it physically. This isn't for somebody that's still trying to figure shit out, that's still trying to figure life out. This is for a guy that is a savage. He's a savage already. He just needs to figure out the physical aspects, okay? Business owners and executives, people with complex schedules, high stress, high standards, no time for just bullshit advice. Right? We're not doing cookie cutter bullshit that's just, oh yeah, go try this and see how it works. This is for people that are serious about it, that are serious about life and have other responsibilities to tend to in the meantime. Okay? And it's for men who value structure over shortcuts. This is not for lazy motherfuckers. This is not for people that are trying to shortcut. This is not for people that want the easy way out. This is for people that understand that the hard work is what builds the result. Period. Who this is not for, I just went over this, but I'm going to say it again because just fucking exit out of this video if this is you. Excuse makers. If you think, oh God, I just can't do it. Oh man, this isn't it. Just get out of here. Okay? Anybody that wants a shortcut, get out of here. People that are half-assed, half-committed, get out of here. It's not for you. Okay, so if all of this stuff spoke to you, if this made sense to you, if you feel like this is actually where you are, and you're somebody that is a savage, you're somebody that is hardworking, you're somebody that built a good level of success, but you let yourself go physically, and now you want the physical aspect of you to match the financial success. This is a program that is designed specifically for you. Okay, if it is something that you have struggled with and you are ready to stop fucking struggling with it, you want to make it happen, I'd be happy to see if we can make it happen together. I'd be happy to see if we are a good fit working together. And if not, we can come up with a good game plan for you and I'll put you in the right direction. So if it is something that you want to try out, we're not trying shit out. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. If this is something you want to look into and see if it is a good commitment for you, I'd be happy to go over everything with you on a call. You can book using the, actually go ahead and reach out to me on Instagram at Grayline Fitness through my DMs. We can go over some things in there, see if it makes sense to book a call. And then on the call, we can go over everything and see if it makes sense working together. And if it is, we can move forward. But if not, I highly recommend going back through this video, taking all the information you need to structure this program for yourself, okay? Structuring it in the ways that I spoke about, and executing that plan relentlessly. If you have success in life, in business, in your home life, in whatever it is, your work ethic is already where it needs to be. Your work ethic is already in a healthy place. Your commitment is already in a healthy place. You should have the look that goes along with that matches that. Okay, if you've built success, you have no reason to be out of shape. So I highly recommend you getting this together, you learning what your full potential actually is, you executing this plan, and you executing at your full potential from here on out. So fitness is the baseline of life. I promise you that. It's tried and true. I've done it for myself. I've done it for plenty of other people. This is something that is extremely important. And if you feel it is for yourself, then I highly recommend getting to work, man. So I appreciate everyone's time. I appreciate your time on this video. I hope that it helped out. I hope that it helps you moving forward. And I look forward to speaking with you if that is the route that we want to go. All right. See you later, everybody.